And welcome back to another episode of the Convoluted podcast. It's your host, Jesus, aka Tyrant Dominus, and I'm here with Liz.
So,
And if it's your first time listening, you're always welcome to subscribe or follow. It's free, and you can always unsubscribe or unfollow. So, Liz, you recently told me that you are not 100% at the moment, but you're still here. You're still here.
yes, I'm still here. I got boosted yesterday, so I feel like I just ran a huge marathon.
Bruh, man. Oh, wait, where's my bra meter? Give me a second.
Bruh.
Yeah, I'm about I am not looking forward to it, but I'm personally gonna get my booster this October, just to kind of get it out of the way for the holidays.
I did it because I'm going to Disneyland in about a month, so I figured I'm ahead of it before it gets me.
There you
So,
go, there you go. But yeah, it kind of sucks mostly when that's how you're gonna spend your day off, just feeling like garbage.
no, I know. It's been really, yeah, like crazy. Like I was fine for most of the day, and towards the 5 o'clock, so what, maybe about 8 hours later, I was starting to feel it. I'm like, okay, I'm fatigued. Okay, I'm good. And then 9:30, 10 o'clock, whoosh, I was just like chills galore. I was like, I'm miserable. I took a hot shower. I was still doing the shakes.
Damn,
I just kind of like, all right, I'm crawling into bed. I'm just going to sleep. And yeah, I was fighting that all night.
that's rough. That's a rough one. But ooh, you have a
Definitely in
visit.
the room.
So anyways, that sucks. I'm glad that you're doing better. Hopefully you'll be feeling better.
I'm
Uh,
hoping I should feel better by later today. I'm hoping that I can feel the rest of it. I mean, right now I feel like I'm warm and cold at the same time. So I'm like, ooh, tank top. Oh, I'm still like pretty warm, but I
I
feel a
think,
little chilly
yeah,
down below.
I think the chills are one of the most annoying things for me because you just don't know what you're feeling. You're either feeling too hot or too cold. Like I can deal with fatigue because I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna pass out. I can deal,
Exactly.
I can deal with a minor headache because you just take some aspirin to kind of relieve that. I can even deal with aches, it's just like, all right, I'm just gonna suffer through this. But the chills, I don't know why. It's just maybe that unbalance of temperature that just frustrates me. But yeah, that's the only thing that I'm will be annoyed. And I gotta remember which arm to get my booster on because the last time I got it, I had it in the wrong spot, so I could not like quote comfortably watch television and be on my side. So I gotta remember to choose the proper side so I can at least be lazy and watch television properly.
Yeah, I did it in my left arm. I'm like, oh, I can feel it all night long. It feels like I think one of my lymph nodes is swollen too. So I'm like,
Ooh, ouch, ouch. All right. So hopefully you'll get better soon. Everyone wish Liz to get healthy soon. The sooner the better.
hmm
So put it in the chat, put it in the stream, anywhere. Give her hearts. But yeah, okay. Uh, is there anything else you want to do a pre-talk about, or anything else besides that?
I've had a rough week. I feel like it just keeps cycling bad luck on me. So
Garbo week, huh?
yeah, it's a Garbo week. I'm like, are you kidding me? Because they up and told me like the beginning of the week that they changed my schedule. So like this next week I was supposed to, or this week coming up, I was supposed to be night shift, and they're like, oh no, never mind, you're not doing that. Somebody quit and somebody's taking back on the shift, and I'm like, great. So that fucks up all my plans that I have anticipated to do.
And look at that shit.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's pretty gnarly the less than a week, and here I am trying to like scramble around, like, well, what are we doing? Oh, we're trying to get this done. This day is for this appointment, and this is what's going on, and so it's been very stressful because there's so many moving pieces and so many moving targets. I'm like, okay, so what are we doing next?
Damn. Well,
There's
you
no like,
you have
there's no happy.
there's no structure apparently.
No structure at all. So my week's been kind of like a little hazy and haywire.
Damn. Talking about structures, actually, we almost had to break down my bathroom door the other day, or the other night. Yeah.
What happened?
Well, someone decided to get a little too tipsy and passed out in the bathroom.
Which
And
one?
that one is for the bonus episode. But yeah, we had to almost like we do you know that simple card trick for like at least those types of doors, one where you can just
Oh
like
yeah, you use like an old credit card and
yeah,
just kind of slice
just
it in.
slide it
Yeah.
through, or just like a fork or spoon or anything that's able to just jimmy it. Um, but apparently the way they fell asleep in the bathroom, they put their body weight on the door, so there was no way to actually.
Oh.
So there was like anytime we tried to get the lock unlocked, it was like, yeah, we're gonna need to force it open. So we were like, just like, all right, we're gonna have to break this door in. That's how bad it is. We were about to either shove the door all the way in, or just break the doorknob with a sledgehammer. Oh, that was fun. That was gonna be a
Oh.
fun. But we were able to barely not destroy our bathroom door. So, but they were gonna pay
That's
for it.
like if you could push it far enough so you can unscrew it from the hinges.
Barely, yeah.
So.
But we got it. But we almost broke the door. So like
Damn.
that was like it was not a
Can't wait to
fun.
see that disaster.
Oh, it wasn't. We didn't do it. Didn't happen. It didn't happen, luckily. So, but it was like it was not a fun night because it started out. We were one of my sisters wanted to do a game night because she bought a bunch of games at PAX. So we're like, let's go. She brought some of her friends. I helped her set up, and she invited me to play. Like, all right, we'll play some card games and stuff. So we played some card game. What you do in game night, you play card games and have some refreshments, right?
Hell yeah. Yeah, we need to do another night like that.
And it was for the most part pretty simple, casual, nothing too crazy. So we ended it at an appropriate time. I would say, like, if you're playing card games and just all those things with people, I think 2 to 3 hours roughly is a good chunk of time. Mostly when everyone's satisfied, and everyone's been having their adjusts with their refreshments, and we finished at a good time. Then I was like, I'm going to bed. If everyone wants to continue, that's fine, But I was like, I'm good. To wake up like literally like probably 3 hours later to like we can't get the door open. I'm like and it was one of those things where I woke up and it was like I wasn't hungover. I didn't drink that much, but it was one of those things you're like, I don't want to get up. You don't want to get up. And I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
And then now I
Today
have
when the alarm went off this morning, I was like, I don't want to.
exactly. And why are you calling yourself Jesus, bro? that's my name. But thank you. But yeah. That it's one of those things like you're groggy. I just wanted to sleep it off, but you wake up and you need to break down your bathroom door. That's not fun.
Nope.
But yeah, that was my past weekend. But overall, everything's been good. Nothing too crazy. Everything's been doing well. Yeah. So let's jump into one of the first stories. So this one you posted recently. A doctor, a doctor removes 50 AA and AAA batteries from a woman's gut and stomach. Like,
Bruh.
What incarnation?
She might have pica. Who knows? But it looks apparently she was doing it for another reason.
Oh God. So, oh, welcome. Yeah. Liz is my co-host. Yes. Let's see here. So let's see what happened here. Doctors in Ireland removed 50 batteries from a woman's gut and stomach after she swallowed them in an apparent act of deliberate self-harm. Oh, shit. Okay. So, okay. The woman, 66, was treated at St. Vincent's University Hospital in Dublin after ingesting an initially unknown number of circular batteries. According to the report of the case published Thursday, I don't care about that. An X-ray revealed a multitude of batteries in her abdominal. Why can't I say that? Ottoman.
Keeps jumping on me, so.
Batteries in her abdomen. whatever, in her stomach, abdomen. There we go. I don't know why I can't read that properly. It's my mic is like my mic's like in the screen. Although thankfully none appeared to obstruct her gastral tract, no battery showed signs of structural damage. Ooh, she got lucky. So let's see here. The team initially took a conservative approach, meaning they observed the patient closely to see if and how many batteries would pass through the GI tract on her own. Okay, anything else important by here? Taking over the 3 weeks showed that batteries... 3 weeks? Why did they had the battery sit in her stomach for 3 weeks?
Because they were trying to see how many would pass up by themselves.
But that's crazy. Like, wouldn't you like immediately want to get those out?
It's kind of a lot of things to worry about, you know. That's a major surgery. Major. Think about what you're doing. You're cutting like all the intestines or trying to maneuver the battery through the intestine to get to the opening of where you wanted to go. But I think they were trying to do the conservative approach because they're like, well, she's not leaking anything, so she's good.
They found that the stomach pulled down the weight of the batteries and had become distended and stretched in an area above the pubic bone. That's a thing. Whatever.
Know that?
No. The team then cut a small hole in the stomach and removed 46 batteries from the organ. These included both AA and AAAs. For additional batteries stuck in the colon were milked, whatever, quote, milked into the rectum and removed through the anus. This brought the total number ingested batteries to 55. The final X-ray scan then confirmed that the woman's GI tract was officially battery-free, and she went to have an uneventful recovery. Whatever. Okay. Overall, like, if that's how you want to go, batteries is not the way to do it, apparently.
Yeah.
Because they were in her stomach for 3 weeks. And
but because she ingested so many of them, they were making a pocket, so they were just kind of like weighing it down instead of like moving like appropriately. You know, like you're stretching out the stomach, right? You stretch out the stomach, you know, it's gonna have a hard time moving things, right?
Okay. True. No, she is not. There's your answer. Someone in chat. We have chat.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, but I can't see it.
I told you need to get that tablet working so you can see chat.
Okay, fine.
Anyways, no, she is not. Sorry, I have to read an article and read chat. My co-host does not read chat. I have to do it, so I have to do 2 things at once. But yeah, 100% true. She is not. My bad. Sorry. Got to do a lot of things, and I have to manage the stream. But yeah, anyways, so yeah, anyone listening, if anyone's listening to this episode of the podcast afterwards, we do these live, so go check those out. We always post them on Facebook and Instagram when we're going live. But yeah, so yeah, if you're listening to this afterwards, we do these live, and you can be part of the conversation, like 100% true. Well, that's their name. But yeah, thank you, True. But yeah, I literally have to do a lot of maneuvering everywhere to make sure everything's proper. So my bad if I can't 100% read it when I have to do this. But we do appreciate you being here. But yeah, going back to the story, batteries is not the way to do it. Like, and one thing, eating that many batteries, I don't know. Thinking about it made my throat just like
the taste of it. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I don't know.
The metallic taste is just gross. I don't know that taste.
The thought in my head, and you had to do how many? Was it 55 total? 55. Oh, just gives me shivers. It just gives me shivers just thinking about it, because one is like, ugh, and like, I don't know, going constantly in. I understand it was for self-harm and you kind of just force yourself, but there's better ways. There's better, faster ways. There's no reason you needed to eat batteries. Like, I don't know what you're thinking doing batteries. Like, why? Why batteries? Like, you could do so many other things. Um, let's see here. But yeah, any other thoughts on this poor woman's? Luckily, you know what's good. You know what? She got out. She got out. Nothing crazy. She's very lucky.
Yeah. Lucky that they didn't do a chemical leakage into a GI tract. So.
But yeah, like
Sure.
she must have had some really good batteries, because if there were some like really like
First.
garbage batteries.
On the light. Sorry, guys.
Well, our listeners doesn't know what's happening. Only our video listeners.
Yeah.
So, let's jump into the next story. You said there was an airline one. Going back to this is always a public announcement to all our flight attendants and your sister. She always has to be on edge. Is she yet taking is she yet getting kickboxing lessons or no?
Oh no, she hasn't. She's been busy.
She needs those.
She's really busy. Right, you ready? American Airlines to close flight attendant base in San Fran after Supreme Court ruling on work breaks report.
Wait, what? American Airlines to close flight attendant base. Oh, okay, so they're losing. After a Supreme Court ruling? What the heck?
So they're not losing their flight attendants. They're just closing the base and making the transfer. Whether they have to pay the transfer fee, that's the other question we have to debate about.
Wait, what? Okay, so read the article. Yeah, read the article.
American Airlines is preparing to close a flight attendant base in San Fran, according to several sources cited by the respected aviation insider John NYC. The decision comes just months after the Supreme Court ruled that airlines must abide by California's generous labor code for local-based flight attendants. In a statement, a spokesperson for American Airlines confirmed that the carrier had decided to close the San Fran crew base because there are no plans to grow in the city. California grants employees who work for more than 5 hours an uninterrupted 30-minute break. A second break is required for employees who work more than 10 hours, and the transportational workers are generally entitled to an additional 10-minute break for every 4 hours at work. So like a normal person, you would work,
So California grants employees who work for more than 5 hours an uninterrupted 30-minute meal break. Okay, yeah. Secondary break is required for employees who work more than... Yeah. I see nothing issue there. So...
A group of flight attendants at the now defunct Virgin American Airline took the airline to court over the carrier's refusal to abide by California's rest break laws because the airline argued flight attendant rest breaks are governed by federal rules that superseded state laws. Alaska Airlines acquired Virgin America in 2016 and continued to fight the case, arguing that airfares would have to rise if we were forced to comply with California's break rules. A San Francisco appeals court, however, sided with the flight attendant. The appeals process continued all the way to the Supreme Court, but in a surprise judgment, SCOTUS decided in June that it would not that appeal. Solicitor General Elizabeth Prologar urged the Supreme Court to deny the petition despite acknowledging that the lower court had probably ruled in favor of the flight attendant by mistake. Solicitor General Elizabeth Prologar urged... Okay, why did it repeat it? All right.
Anyways, so overall, what's basically happening is just they're fighting for their right for the proper lunch breaks and breaks in general. And it all kind of stemmed from the beginning of this closure, right? So first they closed it, but then they were like, okay. And now they're having issues with breaks and lunch breaks and how they're handled. It's interesting. Like, you literally have to then wonder, like, okay, we're flying over Idaho. Now we have to follow these standards for a while. You're like going...
That's very short-lived. What, all by 5 minutes?
Imagine if you're flying... Then what's the ruling if you're flying overseas? Like, pirate laws. I'm on break forever. Like, no, you can't tell me what to do. Like, right? If you're flying overseas, it's pirates law. You just do it.
Yeah,
Like, you know,
there's another issue going beyond that too, because I was overhearing from my mom and sister, and another one of my sister's best friends. So there's another issue behind it.
and that would be,
That is, if they have to pay their transfer fees that are
interesting.
being paid to move.
Wonder why they would do
Yeah.
that.
Well, they're trying to avoid. It's like a kind of slide around at the union. They told them to put in their transfer about a month or so ago before this all came out.
Interesting. Okay.
Mhm.
Overall, I think the basis of the 30-minute lunch, 10-minute break doesn't sound, it shouldn't be outrageous. It shouldn't be like ridiculous. But I always thought that's the standard, right? But it doesn't seem like that is, at least for.
Yep.
Oh wait, did this thing mention what the airline standards were?
I didn't see
Um,
that.
I wish
No.
this article failed to provide that, because you would think, because I would like to compare, right? Like
Mhm.
it would, like, and it doesn't seem like, from what we understand, is that it's under compliance, or whatever compliance it is, because that's what I always think is just like, you work 5 hours, you get a 30-minute break, 30-minute meal break. You work 4 hours, you get a 10-minute break. Like that sounds normal, but it doesn't seem like that is everywhere. But here's hoping that it goes well for everyone, because that's so fucking stupid. That while you're
Those misplaced flight attendants, we already have a shortage on flight attendants and captains and shit for the flight. You know,
room.
we're gonna probably lose a massive exodus. I don't know.
Oh well, we'll see. We'll see how this works out. So to all the American airline members, here's hoping everything goes well for you. Because overall, I think that's perfectly fine. If not, we'll go to, you get no lunch or break until you land. That's all you get. You work until you land. Okay, that's when you get your lunch and
Yeah.
breaks. You combine them at the end. Oh my god, that is so ridiculous. So ridiculous. Second, trying to make sure everything working well. Okay, so let's go jump into the article with Minnesota Timberwolves. Here I have chat running too. There's people actually chatting this time around. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Appreciate it.
Oh.
Jumping into it too.
One day Liz will be able to reach out, but until that day comes. But not today. Not today. Okay. So Minnesota Timberwolves disappointed in Anthony Edwards, who apologized for using anti-gay comments in Instagram video. Once again, we get into this.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Once again, we're getting into this, another one of those things where someone got caught saying something they shouldn't have and then had to apologize. Isn't that nice?
That is nice.
No, the Minnesota Timberwolves said that in a statement Monday that they were disappointed, quote, aren't you always disappointed, Liz? And
I'm always disappointed.
And guards of Anthony Edwards for an anti-gay comment he made in an Instagram video over the weekend. Quote, "We are disappointed in the language and actions Anthony Edwards displayed on social media," end quote. The team said in a statement attributed to the team president, Tim Connolly, that was released Monday. The Timberwolves are committed to being an inclusive and welcoming organization for all and apologize for the offense this has caused to so many. Yes, that sounds like your generic statement you say to just sweep it under the rug. That's it, really. Let's see here. Edward himself apologized for the video Sunday afternoon after it had circulated on social media. This is what he said. Quote, "What I said was immature, hurtful, and disrespectful, and I'm incredibly sorry. And It's unacceptable for me or anyone to use that language. It in such a hurtful way. There's no excuse for it at all. I was raised better than that. Doesn't seem like that. So okay, so now from now on, we should just every time something happens, we'll just quote this. That should just be we should just quote this. What I said was immature, hurtful, and disrespectful, and I'm incredibly sorry. It's unacceptable for me or anyone to use that language in such a hurtful way. There's no excuse for it at all. I was raised better than that. Remember that, Liz. We will
Were we?
from now on, if we ever get caught saying something or doing something, we're just gonna. This is our quote. This is our quote, because it seems like that's the best way to kind of get out of these things.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I feel like that's just gonna be floundering real quick. Oh boy.
So, it doesn't really matter. The Embiid. So let's kind of see. Well, let's talk about it, and we'll see what he ended up with. But anyways, so what are your thoughts on not just this situation, but overall these situations that come out when a celebrity or a sports star is quote caught, saying something they shouldn't say or doing something they shouldn't, and all they have to do is make this public statement and make it go away. Overall, what are your thoughts?
I think they should be doing more than that, but I wish there was filters for these people. I wish they had like somebody who like pre-read their shit before they posted. So
Yeah,
they wouldn't have to do this problem. I mean, this is why you hire people to do this shit.
apparently he posted it on his like personal Instagram account, which people like a lot of people follow him, and he was like, I didn't get to see the video. Juan did. He was just he what's funny is like his buddy wasn't like saying, dude, you shouldn't post this or anything. It was just like going with it. Just like it's one of those things where you should just keep private stuff private, mostly if you're in public view, right? Like if not, then every time we just gotta just make this statement every time we do something fucking stupid, but yeah, there's no reason for this. So here's what ended up happening with him. The NBA has handed out fines for the use of anti-gay language in the past, including $50,000 fines to Brooklyn Nets star Kevin Durant last year for using offensive and derogatory language on social media. A $25,000 fine to Nikola Jokic, I think that's what his name is, for the comment he made during the post-game interview in 2018, and a $100,000 fine to Kobe Bryant for yelling an anti-slur referee in 2011. So they're getting charged. They are getting charged, but you can only.
I don't think that's like a small fraction of the other money they make on the courts. I'm just saying, it's a small fraction. They're not gonna miss it.
Yeah, because a lot of times those contracts are like low end, like 10, 15 million, high end probably in the 50 to 80,000 or 80 million. Someone can quote me if I'm wrong, because I am not a huge sports person, but I know just enough where like when we just do some of these stories, it's crazy how much money they make. But it's just if this all it is a slap in the wrist and like, all right, we're gonna fine you $25,000 for what you said, don't do it again. I think they also get restricted from a couple games, but besides that, it's just a slap in the wrist. Like, don't do it again. Don't be fucking stupid. I'm going through some of these Twitter comments from the quote, and let's see here, where'd it go? And trying to see if there's anything good. Nothing really great. Yeah, nothing really great from the Twitter, but yep, it's ridiculous. It's uncalled for. It's just like, why? Like, keep keep your personal life, your private personal life, private. And
Exactly. I agree.
like everyone has some what is it? Uh what's the word I want to say? People have not not prejudice, have their own
Opinion?
opinion. I don't know. It's like it's the way when you're within your friend group, like you just joke stuff around, but you know you're
Yeah,
joking. You know
we do
you're
it all the
joking.
time.
Yeah, it's when you know you're joking that it's like is it fine? Probably not, but it's just your friend group. But you know when you're going too far too, within your own friend groups. You're like, and you're like, that's a. You tell your friends like, you're taking a little too far, bro. Like,
Mhm.
like we have one person in our friend group that sometimes goes a little too far, and they know who they are, and they like pushing it, but we have to you call them out on it, and but they never do it in public. And are we bad people for that? Nah, that's your opinion. Take it as it is, but if not, here's the statement I will say. What I said was immature and hurtful and disrespectful, and I'm incredibly sorry. It's unacceptable for me or anyone to use that language in such a hurtful way. There's no excuse for it at all. I was raised better than that. I hope you guys accept my apology.
Were we though?
That's Liz. That's Liz's. Like, she's not. She's just gonna go 100% and she's gonna double down on it. She's already a second class citizen. She's just doubling it down.
I know. I just gotta make it the point, you know.
Okay, so let's jump into we have a video we're gonna be watching, but first let's jump into kind of the article that's just above the video. Okay, the chess conspiracy
Is that one again?
should be 916.
Okay.
I'll let you start reading a little bit of it, and we're watching a video.
Oh, the chess screen master?
Yeah, chess grandmaster.
All right.
Go ahead and read that.
I wonder why you want me to say this one. Okay. The chess grandmaster anal bead conspiracy that happening right now. Explained.
Okay, do you want to read it, or do you want to jump into the video?
Let's just jump in the video.
All right, we're gonna be getting some of our news source from one of our favorite content creators. So give us 1 second while I pull this up.
If you're standing up, you're going to want to sit down.
Okay, let me screen share. So give us 1 second, chats. All right. See here. Oh, it's gonna look a little wonky for people, but I apologize.
Yay.
I do apologize, everyone. The audio was not working properly. Give us 1 second. Fine. Okay, so let us know.
If you're standing up, you're going to want to
There we
sit
go.
down. You're going to want to take a seat for this news. It's hard hitting, like getting a call that Meemaw slipped and fell, except this isn't sad news. This is truly just baffling news. Right now in the chess community, there is a cheating scandal that's been going on for a couple weeks now that is so nefarious and so dubious, it'll have you questioning everything in your life. You won't know what's real and what's fake anymore once I reveal this to you. You'll start wondering if your parents are even your real biological parents, you know? It's going to change your universe, you know? You'll start wondering, is the queen even dead? It goes so deep beyond chess. Like, I don't care if you have no interest in chess whatsoever. I really think this cheating scandal is still going to be captivating to you. Now, if you watch my streams, twitch.tv/moistcritical, feel free to stop in, stream every day, put a few extra inches
You
in
always
your
gotta,
penis.
you always
I've been
gotta
following this
plug
since
in.
it happened.
Gotta
Since
always plug in.
ground zero, patient zero. The day that this began, I was actively following it on stream and going over everything as it developed. And now we've reached the point where it's spiraled so far out of control that it's just inducing madness. I feel like that scene in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where he's got like the corkboard with all of the evidence and everything pointing to one name, Pepe
This conspiracy
Sylvia.
is really
Like,
deep, so
it's become so convoluted and crazy. I just need to give you a quick
Convoluted.
spoiler to get you hooked on this story. The cheating allegations involve high-tech anal beads vibrating in a chess grandmaster's ass to transmit the best possible moves in order to win a match. That's the level of wildness we're dealing with here. I can't wait to share it. So let's get into it. I can't show any clips from the actual chess tournament where all this took place, or even subsequent clips of interviews, because as I understand it, they're very strict with that.
I'm
So
good.
just
I'm
going
glad
have
to
paint a
know
picture of
about that
words and
because that
show
would
you
have
some
hurt our
corresponding
stream.
tweets and articles and everything.
Hell yeah.
So in a nutshell, what happened is the #1 chess player in the world, Magnus Carlsen, was competing in a tournament and was facing off against Hans Niemann, a very strong grandmaster, however not nearly to the level of Magnus Carlsen. This should have been an absolute steamroll. Everyone expected Magnus to just blue waffle Hans here, just kind of a throwaway, especially considering that Magnus Carlsen was playing the white pieces. For those that aren't familiar with chess, white pieces move first. And in the upper echelon of chess, that's a difference maker. It's a huge advantage. So you have the best player in the world with an advantage facing off against the lowest rated player in the tournament. You'd expect a fat W from Magnus here.
So yeah, so let's start with that. So it's the top player in the world at the moment facing against a young up and comer, and that's where it starts, right? It's one of those things where like, okay, because it's not impossible for someone to be just like, saying lucky is not. When it comes to chess, you really have to be very strategic. I'm not a chess expert. I only know the basics of chess. I can play a round or two, but I will get my hand beaten by someone who has a more level of understanding on this, right? So having one of the top grandmasters lose to an up and comer, that's like, this kid might be a genius, right? Like, possibly, but it gets spicy. It gets spicy.
But that's not the result that we got in this dimension. I'm sure in every other multiverse out there, Hans Niemann lost this match. But in this one, the one that we currently reside, Hans Niemann won. He beat Magnus Carlsen. So that alone was enough to raise eyebrows. But what set off the cheating allegations and all of this speculation was the subsequent interview. When Hans Niemann was interviewed about this absolutely colossal triumph, he gave a questionable interview that was a little weird, kind of all over the place. And you'd expect that because he's young. Hans Niemann is a 19-year-old kid. You know, he's not like a chiseled old veteran. You know, he doesn't have like a graying goatee. He's not like a fucking Master Roshi or anything. Like, so you'd kind of expect him to be a little scatterbrained here, which is what I thought. You know, now granted, I'm not like a chess authority. I'm not a top player. I'm a fucking tiny pea-brained 1100 player, but even still. You know, it's a young man who just pulled off one of the biggest upsets in chess history. I wouldn't have expected him to give a fully buttoned-up interview and analysis, but during the interview, he said that he actually studied the line Magnus played against him beforehand, which was setting off all kinds of alarm bells. Now, keep in mind, this is a massive upset. The chess community was more willing to believe the Earth was flat than believe Magnus Carlsen lost with the white pieces. So they were already a little on edge with some question marks, and when Hans Niemann said that he had actually studied Magnus's line, everyone immediately flocked to the chess database to see when Magnus played this line prior, and it seems he'd only ever played it once.
Okay, so this is where some of the breadcrumbs to this conspiracy are starting to like align. One, a very awkward interview, and he like you said, it's one of those things where like, yeah, you could be probably really nervous after doing the nearly impossible, beating the one of the best chess champions in the world, and like I would like if I achieved that, I would be like I would literally be shaking, and like I don't know what to say, like, oh my god, right? And and then it comes to one of the interesting things about this, actually, what's cool is what I've learned about chess and kind of games like this, like Go and Shogi, is like they actually have databases where they keep track of previous matches of individuals, and so you can learn like your opponents, and that's like that's a level of, it's like when people watch basketball games or football games to kind of learn teams like patterns. And it's like, so chess and all these types of things also have them because you can see how people play. And so then going with the quote, like seeing like, I've seen him do this play before, but only in record there's only been one time. That's a little suspicious, wouldn't you say?
Definitely, I agree with you.
So
I agree with you.
So at this moment, before we get into the craziness, what are your thoughts at the moment?
I can't wait to see how they uncovered this.
Oh, it's not. They haven't uncovered anything. It's a conspiracy still. It's not. Nothing has been.
Well, I want to see what they to
find.
get to that point. I guess just what they're trying to think could happen.
Okay, let's continue.
So a lot of people were questioning, why would Hans Niemann study this line when it's not something Magnus is known for? It's not something he's ever really played before. Why would Hans Niemann have just studied this right before the tournament? So then they start picking apart the interview and noticing that some of the things Hans was saying weren't fully correct. And keep in mind, these aren't just like normal spectators. I'm talking grandmasters. Like the best of the best chess players were all opining on this situation and giving their perspective on it. And then Magnus Carlsen made this tweet, which really set everything off. Magnus Carlsen announced that he was withdrawing from the tournament following his loss to Hans Niemann, and then posted that very famous YouTube clip of the coach saying, "If I say anything, I'm going to be in trouble, so I'm not going to say anything." And obviously this is an insinuation of foul play. That's how the chess community took it. That's how pretty much any sensible person would take it. Him tweeting this out with the "if I say anything, I'm in trouble" and withdrawing immediately had everyone believing that Magnus Carlsen was softly accusing Hans of cheating. Following this, the biggest chess streamer in the world, Hikaru Nakamura, explained on stream that Hans Niemann had actually been banned from chess.com before for cheating during some matches. Shortly after all the cheating accusations came to light, Hans Niemann was then banned from chess.com. So, now you're all caught up to speed on what exactly happened, but you're questioning, how could he have possibly cheated?
So yeah, so now so for anyone listening or watching, we have been caught up with the basics of how these accusations are coming to light at the moment. People have been eyeing this, and that's true. What he's gonna mention in a moment is, how do you cheat when you're on an open board, like public board, everyone's watching you? It's nearly impossible, right? It's like cheating in basketball. There's referees everywhere. There's people watching you. Like if it's an online thing, that it's possible to cheat things like that. But when you're in public and everyone has their eye on you, how do you cheat? And we're about to find out.
And that's where this conspiracy goes fucking insano style. The leading theory across all of the major outlets is Hans Niemann was using anal beads that vibrated to instruct him what moves to make against Magnus Carlsen in the match. I'm not fucking kidding. This is the leading theory on how Hans Niemann cheated against Magnus Carlsen. So in order to fully digest this entree, I'm going to need to explain how cheating in chess can possibly work. A lot of them are galaxy brain schemes. Now, for those that aren't familiar with chess, there's engines. There's basically chess bots that will always know the best possible moves in any given situation, any position on the board.
Yeah, that's how you train.
Stockfish. So Stockfish has actually been modified in order to fit in someone's shoe. And this was tested by an independent player who put the Stockfish bot in his shoe. He calls it Sockfish. And it was able to transmit the best possible moves for his match. And it worked to a pretty decent degree of success, though of course needed further refining. But the technology does exist. It worked by sending pulsing to his foot that would basically work like Morse code. So it would pulse and tell him what position to move what piece and where.
So there's been previous attempts with a shoe, and it partially
like the shoe bomber all over again, right?
except now with
for cheating.
and with chess, for of all things. Like, sure, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. You know what? I need that shoe thing for Monopoly. Monopoly can just no, actually, what do I need for moving pieces? What's a game that would need moving pieces? Something without dice. Can't think of anything at the moment. If anyone in chat knows, we need that. But yeah, it's like so there has been attempts with things, so it's not impossible, right? So let's kind of find out how anal beads become the main suspect.
So pretty fucking cool. Now, obviously, that's illegal. You can't sneak a chess bot to play for you. It's cheating. But I think the point of this experiment was to show that it is possible. And he didn't do this in like a legitimate match. He revealed to his opponent, who found it humorous. But it is pretty impressive technology. So it's not far-fetched to think that anal beads couldn't accomplish the same thing as James Stanley's sockfish. If you take the same idea, where you take stockfish in the Raspberry Pi for the shoe and use it for your asshole, it could send vibrations or pulses through your rectum and work the same way as sockfish. It would vibrate your colon in a way that would tell you the position to move on the board. So it can exist. Like, it's not super far-fetched. Like, we're not in the realm of sci-fi. It's not a fantasy. You could technically make some kind of butt plug that runs stockfish and just have it vibrate Morse code for where you should move your pieces. It can, theoretically exist.
So yeah, the ability to program an anal bead.
I mean, if we have vibrators out there, what difference if we add it to, say, anal beads?
And just putting it the ability to telegraph where you need to move your pieces on the chessboard. Like, that's the next level of like crazy you would need to do if you really wanted to beat a grandmaster. And like that is I've never, like, this conspiracy is so crazy to even think about. And what we're talking about at the moment, for those who are just catching us live, is we're currently talking about a chess scandal. Yes, a chess scandal where our main culprit is suspected of having a modified anal beads that were able to help them procure the win. And we just recently learned that there was an attempt with a shoe device that was able to, for the most part, have a chance to do it. So the technology's out there, but yeah, let's continue.
Now, whether or not Hans Niemann had a butt plug or anal beads in that did this, it's up for anyone's guess. Only God knows, and only Hans Niemann's butthole knows. The thing with chess cheating is you can never be 100% sure either way, because for a grandmaster to cheat, they'd only really need to hear one thing, a cough, that indicates there's a tactic on the board, or anything, because they're all so good. If they just have even the slightest hint that there's something there, they will find it pretty quickly. So no one's 100% sure how prevalent cheating is. However, there's only been a few cases of cheating being caught at the top level. The most famous being about a decade ago during an Olympiad. There was a very high IQ plot to cheat where the teammate would send a coded text to another teammate, and then they would sit at a particular table which corresponded to a position on the board, and judging by where they were sitting, the player would then know what moves to make fundamentally. So
well, that's next level brain. Like, it's a 3-person like strategy right now. Having one friend text another friend coordinates to and you just see someone just moving back and forth, like walking. That's crazy. That's great. Yeah, it is crazy.
So by changing where they were sitting, they were transmitting information to the player, which obviously isn't allowed. Very galaxy brain shit, but this was caught and they did receive punishment for it. So yeah, it has happened before, but it's not something common. Now let's get back into this case specifically. Hans Niemann has been very outspoken. He's addressed all the rumors and every outlandish claim imaginable. He's been very open with everything. Now, I want to give my personal perspective here, and I've talked about it on stream. I don't think Hans Niemann cheated. I really don't. The security was super tight at this event, and they were very thorough with their checks. In chess, they have checks to make sure.
Were
that you're
they
not
doing an
smuggling in
anal cavity
anything
check though?
illegal
They're gonna
or
have to.
anything unsavory, unprofessional. You know, nothing that would give you an advantage. So during the beginning of this match, I can't show you the clip, but I'll show you a quick picture. They had a guy with a wand scanning Hans's entire body, top to bottom, even going as far as to investigate his gum, even checking his shoes, probably looking for sockfish, checking every nook and cranny of Hans Niemann's body without actually doing a cavity search. You know, he didn't give him like the Naruto 1,000 years of pain up the asshole or anything, but he came pretty close. And he didn't find anything. So I just think it's highly unlikely Hans Niemann was able to pull a fast one on the chess organization here. I don't think he was able to smuggle in any secretive nanobot anal beads, because I feel like that would have been picked up by the wand this guy was scanning him with. So again, I think he went all natural here, fully biological, no augments. I don't think he cheated bringing a bot in or anything like that. Now, Hans Niemann has given yet another interview going more in depth on cheating allegations from his past. Takaru brought up that he was banned by chess.com for cheating in some matches, and Hans Niemann does confirm that when he was younger, he did cheat in some online matches. He says they were unrated matches. It was back when he was younger trying to grow his stream, and he had cheated back when he was like 12 years old as well in, again, online format, but has said he has never cheated in over-the-board chess. And this was very brave of him to be so open with his past of cheating online, because that's just one of those things that you don't really see a lot of people just tackle headstrong. That's something a lot of people bury. And I guess he was kind of forced to here since it was brought to light. But I still think being that transparent with it is pretty impressive, even if it is to the detriment of his career. I don't know how it's going to affect it going forward. Him being that open, I think, is pretty strong. And he is defending the legitimacy of his over-the-board career. In response to Hans Niemann's interview, chess.com put out a statement saying that he will remain banned and that they had evidence that contradicts some of the statements he made, but chess.com has yet to put forth that evidence for people to see. So as of right now, he's still banned and the evidence is hidden. And now I want to make it clear, not every grandmaster is saying that Hans cheated. It's some of them that are standing strong that it's very suspicious how he beat Magnus. Some of them are claiming that all of his moves are a little too in line with moves that the chess bots make. But there are still a lot that support Hans, saying that, you know, Magnus just didn't play that well that day. So it's really just full back and forth here. But since the anal bead theory broke, there was even an offer for Hans Niemann to play naked for $1 million to prove he didn't cheat. This anal bead theory is what's really taken hold
$1 million
from the
play chess
the
naked
scandal here. And it all started as a meme.
Put a towel over his genitalia area.
Did their due diligence
No,
here.
everything.
The anal bead theory was just kind of a
It might
joke
have one of
on the
those
chess
like
subreddit.
dick rings.
There was very few people that legitimately
You gotta be
believed it. They just
careful.
started talking about it just because it was silly.
And a
But a lot of
Benedict.
these publications have picked it up as if it's something believable. And yeah, theoretically, it could exist, but I still find it very unlikely that it does. But the point is, it started as just a joke that's now become something much bigger. And Hans Niemann said he'll fucking play naked to prove he hasn't cheated. Like he's
There you
know,
go.
he's being a good sport about the anal bead stuff. He said he'll just play full bare ass chess to prove that he is an innocent man when it comes to over-the-board chess games. Now, I'd like to just briefly give my opinion on Magnus Carlsen's tweet, because that's what really turbocharged all these cheating accusations here.
Okay,
He
let's
made that
let's
tweet-
pause it a little bit here. Okay, before that. Okay, there's a lot to take into consideration. It's interesting getting a little bit more information going into seeing his response. You know, it's one of those things like he's a young kid, 19 years old, and he's been caught cheating before on chess.com, and he's like said like, yeah, I've cheated before, wasn't right and stuff like that. We would have to deep dive a little bit more into like those interviews, but for the most part, he has acknowledged it and said like, yes, I have cheated. So it's interesting also how the public, like what he's saying, the public is just taking it into this. Like, it's something. I'm not gonna lie, we're talking about it. Not impossible. Like we've said it right now. Like there's technology out there that has the ability to predict stuff like this, and that there's a methods to do it too. And I like how it seems like it did seem like it started out as a meme, just like a
Bruh.
moment. So
I think they're gonna have to start doing, like TSA, those body scans. You can tell if they have
yeah,
AOVs on.
because they had the wand, but they just probably need to go deeper, way deeper.
Literally.
And it's I don't know. It now this is where it gets interesting. Like, where do you want to believe? Right, we're gonna get a little bit more what Charlie's gonna say on the other part from the Grandmaster, because at the end of the day, it's true to say, like, how can an up and coming person just beat a Grandmaster? Right, it seems implausible. It's not impossible. It just seems improbable, right? And that's where it starts to get really wild, right? And you feel like something's up, right? Something's up. So, what are your thoughts at the moment? Just hearing this shenanigans.
Even if you played naked, anal beads are up your ass.
True,
You
but
need
they'll
to do a full-
all right. But at least he's at
And
least
they come in a variety of things. They come in wood, and they come in plastic, and they come in latex. I mean, it depends on what you like. So
at least he's taking it in strides too, right? He's not he's going along with the jokes and stuff like that. So let's kind of jump into a little bit of what's happening here. Let's kind of rewind it a little bit here.
Tweet, because that's what really turbocharged all these cheating accusations here. He made that tweet and then went complete radio silence. He hasn't spoken out about this since, when he's the one that really, kicked a shit in the septic tank here and let it fester. I think it's a little, embarrassing to make that tweet and then have no follow-up. He just very slyly insinuates Hans may have been cheating. He withdraws from the tournament, which is no small thing, mind you. That's a big gesture, but refuses to actually come in here and give his stance on it when he's the one that kind of started most of it. I think that's a little sad. I would like if Magnus Carlsen would elaborate on why he made that tweet and what it's exactly in reference to. Is he accusing Hans of cheating? Does he think Hans cheated? Or did everyone misinterpret his tweet? I don't like the ambiguity of it. I would really appreciate, and I think most people would appreciate, if he elaborated a bit on his position, since he's the one that, he threw out the first move here, going for like a scholar's mate potentially. So why not explain it a little more thoroughly? Tell us the line. But anyway, I just wanted to quickly get that out there because,
Okay. Thank you, Charlie. The screen. So yeah, it's crazy. And yeah, getting it from the Grandmaster side, he's been radio silent, and that in itself is pretty sketchy. It's like you would think after all the scandal, right, there would be something, a statement or anything, because he did kind of bring up the uproar, and people are talking about it. Was he hoping for someone to catch something that he might have missed, or is he just a bit upset that a youngin beat him? Like,
maybe.
it's like, if you're that petty, you like, maybe you weren't playing your best, right? You made one or two bad mistakes, and you're like, fuck, damn it. Or do I have anything?
Not a single fuck was given this day.
And then you're like, and you just post that. I don't know. It seems sketchy. It adds to the conspiracy. It adds to this conspiracy, for sure. And I don't know. So what are your overall thoughts, just kind of on this?
Is cheating? Wow. That sucks. But if the Grandmaster being so silent, maybe you should start speaking up, because he's starting to create some havoc within the chess community, obviously. So he needs to speak up and say, "Hey, I fucked up," or "I know this is not how it's supposed to go down," or "How about a rematch?" or whatever,
Something, anything, right?
Hmm.
And like I said, at least oh shoot, what was the name of the kid?
I don't know.
I literally had it. Sorry, I'm trying to find this kid's name. Magnus is the grandmaster, and the kid's name is
Hans Niemann?
Hans Niemann. Yeah, Hans. Okay, we'll go with Hans. Wait, in a stunning upset, Hans. Yeah. So, if he's willing to play ball and literally go butt naked, he's saying something. He's putting out a statement. That's a very strong statement to say. And like they said in chat, $1 million is good money. $1 million is good money. And right now, just having this base story, I'm in more in the belief that he did not cheat. I'm more in that boat right now. Like what where are you putting your marbles in at the moment? What ship is gonna sail for you?
I would see it. I love to see a naked Jasmine show.
That's only that's only OnlyFans. OnlyFans.
I know, right?
But yeah, I we need more information, and it doesn't seem like we'll be getting any more. It seems like we have one person who's talking more than the other. But yeah, let's I think that's it really. It's a wild story. Wild, to say the least. But yeah, let's kind of jump into our final act. But before that, everyone, don't forget we're running our end of summer sale. Use code SUMMER for 20% off at merch.tyrantdominus.com. There's a link below. Yeah, don't forget it ends October 15th. So make sure you grab that. And as always, you can join us on our Discord. Come hang out with us. We'll be doing a fun thing. You might be participating in part of our bonus episode if you join our Discord. But yeah. Yeah, let's kind of jump in. Anything you want to add to that before we do our final segment?
Nope.
All right, I'm gonna roll the dice and we'll see what story we're gonna read. Ooh, number 5. We haven't gone that low in a while. 1,
Yep.
2, 3, 4, 5. Huh, interesting. Okay, this is our story. I'm gonna post it.
All right.
Discord. Oh. How are you feeling on reading, or do you want me to read this one?
You may want to read. I'm starting to feel the chills again.
No problem. All right, everyone, let's jump into this. Am I the asshole for leaving the restaurant before my boyfriend's family arrived after I was told that I was going to pay for their meal?
Yeah.
I, female 29, have been dating my boyfriend, male 35, Ricky. Wow, they called him out for 5 months. He's divorced.
Quote it.
He's divorced and hates this word. Hates the word divorced? Okay. And goes with the word divorcee. What? That's the same thing. Okay. Instead, since it's the first one that makes it sound like he was dumped when it was him who initiated it. Sure, whatever. Words. Anyways, he always goes on a long rant about his ex and says stuff like, I hope you don't have this awful habit my ex has, or hope you like X, Y, and Z because my ex didn't. And the list goes on. These seem like red flags immediately.
Oh God, yes. Highly.
Yeah. I found my second job recently and he's been having me pay everything we go out. When I protested, he said he's going through a rough patch and is seeing how much help I can offer. Man, please write properly. Can offer. Last night he invited his family to join us for dinner. We got to the restaurant first. He asked me if I brought enough money, and I said why, and he told me that he told his parents that I'd pay for their meals, and I said why would I, and he went on about his parents going through a rough patch just like him. I like how it's going through a rough patch. We should say that from now on. And I said, I'm sorry, this can't be a coincidence. He asked what I meant, and I told him that I would not be paying. He insisted and I refused. He said no and said no. He then leaned back and said, well, you're here, so not much of a choice you have anyways. while laughing like it was funny. I suddenly got up and took my phone and purse and walked right out. He was shocked and started shouting after me to stop and wait, but I didn't. I went home and he called me enraged, saying that I did a horrible thing walking out on him and his parents while I couldn't just pay. I told them that their unfortunate financial situation isn't my problem and that I wasn't obligated to pay for their food. If they couldn't pay for their meals, then they should not go out. He got offended and said that I quote, "You're making money on a priority just like my ex did." Then he went on about how he disrespected my attitude was and how I made him look like small in front of his parents and enforced him to lie about why I wasn't there when they came. When we've been going back and forth about it till now, he's mad and he's refusing to speak to me till I apologize. Am I the asshole? I feel bad because his parents are lovely and I've been doing my best to keep a good relationship with them. So she does have a good relationship with them. Okay. So there's some actual backlog. All right, let's.
Red flags. Leave. Hit the road. You're better off. This guy's using you for your money. I've been down that road one too many times. Get the hell out of jail. I ain't been down that road. Get out. You're gonna get yourself in so much debt you won't even be you. And just because you're making money and because you get a second job and you get off your ass and you wake up and do that shit every day, it's your money, not his, not at all. You're not committed. You are dating. It's a 5-month relationship. Head out, get out. That guy is bad news written all over it. He's got a lot of problems to go through.
Emotional damage.
Exactly. Like immediately the second like quote paragraph, like those are immediate red flags. Like paying once in a while is not bad. Paying all the time or most of the time, that's when it gets iffy. Second part, it's when you start comparing someone to someone else. That's
shitty.
Then you wonder why he was quote divorced, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, divorced. We're not using divorcee. Divorced.
Yeah, he initiated it. He's divorced.
What's sweet about her is that she probably met his parents and she's probably were good but it doesn't seem like he's any good at this point.
Oh, who's this bad news? I mean, I get it. Families are great. We all met like our significant others at one point, family, and we really, really liked them, and we're like trying to figure out how this person came out the opposite end of them.
And I think one of the best comments is 33 Yin says, "OMG, girl, run. This is not a man you want or need in your life. Go, go, go. Don't look back. Like ever. Not the asshole by a long shot." Yes, thank you, 33 Yin. You've said it. You said it. This is and Liz said it. This is not to begin with, a very horrible relationship, borderline toxic. It's like it's getting there, like it's just about to get there, and within 5 months.
Yeah, you would think you would be like blissful for a year and then maybe pull that shit,
No,
that's too quick into the relationship. Good thing, because then you're not stuck in this shit and you're not wasting so much time out of your life for this.
And another comment from Salifar, I think that's what their name is. And they agreed with some of those things. For real, there are so many red flags here. 1, he compares you constantly to his ex. This is not healthy for you, your relationship, or him. That's true. 2, he is financially abusive by forcing you to pay, and if you don't belittle him. Okay. 3,
if you don't, he's belittling you. Basically.
Oh, okay, my bad. I'm trying to read it. Yeah.
3? I think that's what they meant to say.
Okay. Like, God, sometimes reading these are a little hard, but I know what they mean a lot. Or sometimes they miss commas, but that's another point. 3, he goes behind your back to arrange payments for his parents' meals out of your pocket, and when you put your foot down, he turns it into you being the problem here when it's him. This is a classic Darvo behavior. Deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender. Yep, Darvo. I always
Mhm.
forget. I always forget what the acronym stand for. Yeah, DARPO. He is showing you a very clear pattern that only found in abusers.
Normal time.
Leave now and do not let him back in your life. Now that his exes are his exes because like you, they finally put their foot down. None of them are likely half as bad as he claims, and I'm willing to bet that they are very similar stories to yours of abuse patterns. Whew. Yeah.
I agree with this one completely. Upvote that completely.
Yeah, overall, we let's upvote all this stuff just to respectful. But yeah, overall, she needs to get out. It is unhealthy, and you're frozen. So perfect timing because we're about to end this episode. And that's so funny. It left you a very dubious form on the screen. But yeah, it's perfect timing because that's how we're getting. We agree that she is not the asshole. We hope she dumps him and gets away from this very horrible relationship. So, yeah, everyone, thank you again for listening. Liz has frozen up. Her Wi-Fi went down. So everyone, thanks again for listening. Don't forget our sale on merch.tyrantdominus.com. Don't forget to use code SUMMER. And yeah, everyone, until next time. Oh, there's Liz. She's back.
Yes, my Wi-Fi died and then Discord died all at the same time. Yes.
Oh yeah, I was just closing off, so perfect time for you to say bye to everyone.
I